Hello, this is going to be a quick Linux refresher for people that have done a little bit of Linux and are getting to need to know some for example, information security stuff. So I'm going to use standard Linux tools, and we're going to be looking at the popular online game Wordle. So to begin with, let's take a standard terminal as ordinary terminal, and I'm going to create a directory, mkdir, and I'm going to call it tutorial, and then I can change into the directory. And what I'm going to do is type tu and then tab. The tab key will just autocomplete in a lot of contexts in Linux. If you're not sure about a word, just try typing tab, see what happens. Quite often it'll be really helpful. So cd tutorial, there we go. Now we've got an empty directory, and in that directory we have nothing. We can type ls to list the directory, and we have nothing. As I mentioned, I'm going to be doing this tutorial through the medium of Wordle, and that means we're going to need some words. As you might know, Wordle is a game where you have to guess a 5-letter word. So we're going to get a list of words, and we're going to get the 5-letter ones. So the list of words on a Linux thing is in user shared dict words. So / is the root directory of the whole system. User usr share tab dict word tab, and I'm using the cat command here, which stands for concatenate, and that will just basically split whatever file you've put in, goes straight onto the screen. So that's just shown us the contents of user shared dict words, and we can scroll up and we can see it's an alphabetical list of words. So the first thing I'm going to do is up arrow gets the previous command, which we could use, but I'm not going to use that actually. I'm going to use grep. And what grep does is it lets you use regular expressions to search a file. So grep for grep, and then we give it a pattern, and then we can use that pattern to search within a file. So for start off with grep, the dot character matches any character. So if I do grep 5 dots, then space, and then we're going to do user shared dict words. Another top Linux tip here, alt full stop gets you the previous argument. So if you're doing something on a particular file, alt full stop will get you the argument. So this is going to find, using grep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, any 5 characters in this file. And there you go, we've got our 5 or more characters. So we don't want that. As well as having 5 characters, we want it to start at the beginning of the line and finish at the end of the line. Caret matches the beginning of the line, dollar matches the end of the line, and that will give us all of the 5-letter words in user shared dict word. There we are, just the 5 letters. So what we're going to do now is take that and we're going to put it in a file, and we're going to call it all Wordle. And the putting it in a file bit uses the greater than sign, and that's called redirection. So you take the output of a command and you redirect it into a file. That's a very standard Linux idiom, and we'll do that. And now if we list our files, we've got allwordle.txt, and we can cat that because it's just a file, and then we've got all the possible Wordle words. Now actually it's not all the possible Wordle words, because as you can see we've got some funny characters in there. By funny characters I mean accents and apostrophes and so on. So what we could do is we can use grep -v, which inverts the search, so it finds things that don't match. So we could do grep -v, and then we could give it a list of characters we want to exclude. So you want to exclude the I want to exclude this character. I'm not sure if this is going to work. Type all, type tab just to complete. That's going to give us, so that's excluded all of the ones with the E acute accent. I wasn't sure that was going to work, but it did, which is great. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to exclude apostrophes, and if it's a special character like an apostrophe, you have to escape it. And again, this is a very common Linux idiom. If you've got a character that you want to escape, then you use a slash, and that turns it into the character rather than the thing that it's pretending to be. If I hadn't used the character, escape character, well, let's see what would happen if I haven't used the escape character. If I don't use the escape character, it doesn't know what's going on, and the reason it doesn't know what's going on, and you've got this, hang on, you haven't finished, is that this has opened a quote and it's waiting for a finishing quote. We haven't got a finishing quote because we don't actually want a quote, we just want the thing. So, if we do escape, that gives us 5-letter words which don't have the apostrophe and don't have the accents. There might be some other accents in there, but we'll go with that. And then we can put that into file, or we'll call it Wordle no accent.txt. Now we've got 2 files in our Wordle directory. One, I've spelled it wrong. Doesn't matter. I'm going to use tab to auto-complete it anyway. Right. So what we can do now is we can look at the Wordle no accent thing and see how many words there are. So we can use the WC command, which does a word count, and we'll WC that file, and we've got 6118, 6118, 36714. What does that mean? This is the number of lines, this is the number of words, and this is the number of characters. If we just want the number of lines, we do WC minus L, and that will give us the number of lines in the file. So now we've got now we've got some kind of candidate word list. We need to work out how we might go about choosing the first word, right? One of the things you can do is you could do grep minus O, which is print the match only. We could give it a character range, which is A to Z, which is just lowercase letters, and then we can do that on Wordle no accent, and that's going to print out 1 character per line, all of the letters in that word. Now we can use a little bit of magic to sort that, which will give us, it looks not very useful so far, but this is all of the letters in our word, 1 per line and sorted. And how I did that was I used this pipe character, which I'm going to use again now, the vertical bar, and I'll put that through unique minus C, and that is finding the count of unique elements. And that gives us a count of the unique elements in the list that we've just generated. So this is a count of the characters in our word list. So A is popular, E is popular, S is popular, T is popular, R is popular. So you've got a list of popular letters within our word list, and you can use this to decide which words might be useful. So we want an A and an E and an R and an S, shall we say. So what happens if we do so these are all the words with A, and we could pipe that into grep E. Don't need to think because we're piping the output of one command into another. So these are the words which contain an A and an E, and we could pipe that into grep T, A's and E's and T's, and then maybe can we see if we get an S as well? So stead looks like a good one. S-T-A-D. So let's use that as our opening letter, opening word. A lot of faff here to get to an opening word, but we'll go for it anyway. S-T-E-A-D. Do we have any hits? Right, so we know S is at the start and A is in position 4. That's a pretty good hit for starters. So now we can say, start to cut things down even more. So let's say grep, and we want to have s, what was it, s blah, blah, a blah, in Wordle no accent. So these are all the words which hit that thing. We also know that it doesn't contain grep minus v. It doesn't contain a t, an e, or a d. So we can do t, d here. And now these are the words which have the right values in the right places. So s blank blank a blank, and don't have t, an e, or a d. So this is now our candidate word list. So what we could do is put that in a file, and that's candidates after one guess. After one guess, we've got these candidates. Now, what we're going to guess next? Well, we're going to guess one of these words, right? Because these are the words that match. And I'm going to say sonar. Sonar's a good word. We'll guess sonar. Generally, I would avoid trying to guess ones with repeated letters, just because it doesn't rule out as much. So we'll guess sonar. Oh, now you see that's taught us something interesting. So, candidate 2 guess. Yeah, we're grepping from candidates 1 guess, and we're doing, we know that R's right, and we know it's not got an O and it's not got an N. And let's have a look at what we've got in candidates 2 guess. Candidates 2 guess, sugar. Well, I think this is probably the word we're after. There you have it. Wordle solved. Now, that used on the command line there quite a lot of different little bits of Linux stuff. So we've used regular expressions, we've used pipes which connect 2 commands together, we've used cat to take things to the screen, we've used word count to work out how many guesses we've got, we've used multiple greps tied together, we've used lists, and we've used user shared dict words to get some data. The one command I'm going to show you now just to finish off, well, actually we should wc minus l candidate star. That's going to give us the word count of the 2 guesses, and that says with 1 guess we got it down to 14 possibilities, and with 2 guesses we got it down to 1. That is surprisingly good. But the other command I want to show you now is history, which I'm going to type correctly. If I type history, that will show the history of this command line. So you can see all of the commands that I've used in this tutorial, and I'll put those in the comments so you can see all of the commands that were used as part of this tutorial, ready to copy and paste if you want to do that. So that's that. That's a very quick tutorial on Wordle that might have been a bit fast, but hopefully reminded you of some Linux bits and pieces. I can stop recording. 15 minutes.